Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've last been on here doing reviews for cars and trucks. I actually recently just moved, so I've been trying to get my stuff together, but I am at a new dealership right now, and look behind me, they have a brand new 2021 Ram TRX that I have always been wanting to review since they've came out, and I have the opportunity now to do that. So without any further ado, let's take a look. Alright guys, so here is a 2021 Ram TRX, and I have to say, just from the front end of it, I gotta say I actually like it a little bit more than the Raptor. It is just so beefy. Everywhere you look, the tires, the front bump, well, the front bumper, the whole front fascia, the hood especially too, just everything just looks so beefy on this truck. Even looking from the front here, I mean, if we go to the side, you can see the fenders are just pulled out so much. And it looks really, really good. But we'll start with the front here, guys. Front headlights, you do get the limited front headlights, LEDs, daytime running lights, which look great. And then when you blinker, it uses this little light up top here. LED fog lights down below. We do have parking sensors, so 2 over here, 2 in the front, and 2 on the other side. And then obviously the same thing carries out on the passenger side. We do have amber lights on the side, and kind of like the Raptor, we have the amber lights here in the hood, just because if it's overall width, you have to have these lights here in North America. But I just think it looks really, really beefy. It does have a 360 camera too. So right underneath this part of the trim, you do have the 360 camera, the Ram logo in the front here, and then we have some active grille shutters that are kind of tucked in a way back there. But really like the front end of it, guys. It's pretty much it though. Let's actually take a look underneath the hood. But before we do that, I do want to mention that it does have the 6.2 liter badge here on the side, and then TRX, kind of a decal, if you will, right on the front. So got some functional hood vents here too. But that is it. Let's take a look underneath the hood of this beast. Okay, so taking a look underneath the hood of this, kind of open this here, and it opens right up. One thing I'm not a huge fan of is that there's a lot of places here in the front that are covered. However, nonetheless, you have the 6.2 liter V8 supercharged motor producing 702 horsepower and 615 pound-feet of torque, mated to the ZF 8-speed transmission. It is so powerful. I mean, once you step into one and you actually drive it, you'd be so shocked of how quick this truck really is. I mean, it's a pickup truck for friggin' sake. It is just absolutely incredible, and how quick it really is just something you'd have to experience when you drive it. Now, under here, there is a little diagram. I don't really want to open this all the way up, but you can see a T-Rex eating a Raptor, which is obviously to kind of bash at Ford for its Raptor. But nonetheless, really, really good motor. I love how quick it is. And the ZF 8-speed is pretty good too. It's got some crisp gear changes, and don't really have any complaints about it. But that is it with the front end here. Let's take a look around the TRX. Alrighty, so taking a look around the TRX, we can see how big that front fender really's been pushed out to compensate a little bit for the 35s, but also to just give it that beefy look. Now, you do have the Goodyear Wrangler Territory tires on here, and really good tire, no complaints. The tire size is 325/65R18, so you can see at the bottom. So 18-inch gloss black rims, which look really, really good. Now, you do get Bilstein shocks. They're the Blackhawks, and they do have reservoirs as well. There is a functional fender vent here, and you can see a little bit of the engine in there, but nothing too crazy. Got the Ram logo on the side. Comes with a running board. I don't think Don't quote me on it, but I haven't seen a TRX with a power running board. I'm sure you can maybe upgrade to the amp ones, but from Ram, you can only get the stationary ones. It does have keyless entry, so push this to lock, grab it to unlock. It's not on the back, which I find trucks are starting to do now. They're only putting it at the front as opposed to having it on both doors, which is kind of annoying. Mirror, standard mirror, nothing too crazy. It is plastic. Kind of wish they actually did the same color as the whole truck itself, but it is just a plastic. Nothing too fancy about the mirror here. They are heated, by the way. Gas cap is on the driver's side, so all you do is push it out, and there's the tank, fuelless entry, fuel, no fuel door. There is the back tire with the 35s, and then here you can get a look at the Bilsteins down below here with the reservoir, and gives you a TRX logo there too, just to kind of let you know that this is TRX only. But you can see more of suspension components. Your coils are in the back, of course, it being a Ram. There's the back tire and the TRX sticker right on the side here. That is pretty much it for the side. I'll give you a side profile so you can see what it looks like. I do honestly like the black. I think the black with the black rims looks really, really good. And I do like the red too, if you go with red. I don't think any color on this truck would personally be pretty bad in my opinion, but I like the black. Anyways, let's get to the rear end of this baby. Okay, so getting into the back here, pretty much looks like any standard Ram in the back. However, when you go to the side, you can see how wide that fender really sticks out, compensating for the 35s. But the exhaust tips are black. There's really no chrome on here, considering that it's a TRX and some people may like chrome, but unfortunately no chrome on this truck whatsoever. I like the blacked out options. We do have Ram here, 4x4, and then TRX on the left. I like it. It's just, you know, got that logo right there for the TRX, Ram, and then 4x4. There's not too much going on back here. I like it plain, so that looks good. You got tow hooks back here, and the exhaust, like I mentioned to you, is black, and it looks really good too. I like it. Now, it is an automatic tailgate. Does have the spray in back here, and tailgate's pretty light. Nothing too fancy back here. You got your light switch. You can put on all the exterior bed lights if you want, and you got some tow hooks in each corner. So that is it. I am going to lift this up. Very, very light tailgate, I gotta say. Very, very light. I do also want to mention that the back tail lights are LEDs, and then you have Ram here. This is kind of your safety system in here, so if you ever hit your tail light, it won't be a cheap fix. As you can see too, on the side in front of the headlight, it looks like a functional fender vent, but it doesn't look like it is functional, unfortunately, but it kind of gives it a little bit of more design. One other thing to note too is the 3 lights at the bottom, which I like. I'm not a huge fan of when you put like that massive LED at the back. The 3 lights there just makes it look ever so crisp. But now that we're back here, I do want to go over how the exhaust sounds, and let's take a listen. I don't know about you guys, but I think Ram absolutely killed it with having a supercharger in this truck. It is so unnecessary, but man, is it ever cool that they did that, and I have to hand it to them for doing such a good job on that sound. That is pretty much it for the back, guys. Let's take a look at the rear seats. All right, so taking a look at the back of the Ram 1500 TRX, I have to give it to Ram. They have really done an excellent job with this interior from top to bottom. I honestly think there's so much luxury in here, and it looks the part. It looks so good. We'll start with the back door panel. Like, look how good this door panel looks. Leather, red stitching, you have Alcantara, you have perforated leather, you have a soft touch leather pad here. You have the Harman Kardon speakers, which are like cheese graters, by the way. Like, it just looks so good. I get the bottom is plastic. It's easy to clean and whatever. But to lay your arm on this is just incredible. Again, I have to give it to Ram. They've killed it. I think it's the best interior, you know, as opposed to the Ford Limited. I think the Ford Limited interior is beautiful. I would say they're about the same, just different colors and, you know, different combinations of the leather. But I think it looks really good and it looks absolutely amazing. You have this like little, even the door lock, I'm surprised. It's like, you know, just a nice little silver aluminum brush here. It looks good. We'll start here with the seats as well. All leather carried throughout with some red stitching. It kind of carries a little bit of what the Rebel has, but just a nicer version. You have some Alcantara in the seat here, red stitching, perforation as well. Now in the back here, they are heated and cooled. No other truck offers that in its class. Right in here, you have heated seats and cooled seats. You have USB, USB-C. You have more charging down here. You have vents back here. You have cup holders. You have more cup holders when you pull this whole thing down. The nice thing is too, with Ram, if you pull this thing down, the whole seat comes down. Unfortunately, if you're sitting there, whatever, you can't be there. But like, it's an armrest. It's a beautiful armrest. They even got Alcantara here, red stitching. They have storage in here. Like, I have to give it to Ram. They killed it with this interior. I also too love the speakers at the top of the back end here. I think it sounds good and it just kind of enhances the noise when you're back here. The back of the seat too, all perforated leather. Like, I have nothing but good things to say. I don't have any complaints. They even leathered with stitched material the door grabber, like to get in. I can't believe it. Ram killed it, guys. I have nothing but good things to say. Down here, this does have the all-weather mats. And you have the Ram storage bins down below. Seats do fold up, and you can put this like this, and you have a little bit more storage down there. So nothing too crazy. You can push this, and the seat just goes back down, just like that. That's it for the back, guys. If you think the back looked nice, let's take a look at the front. It's even better. So now that I'm pretty much done with the back, like I mentioned, the front, it's even nicer. The driver's seat, all leather, red stitched, Alcantara, perforated leather, leather padding, red stitching. The Harman Kardon speaker up here, down below. It's not plastic, it's like a metal. It feels so good. Your window controls, again, they're like a plastic. I'm not going to compliment that because it's pulled out of every Chrysler product. Folding mirrors, memory seating, door handle. I think it's plastic, but nothing too crazy. You have your seat controls down below, and here is the seats. Here are the seats for the TRX. So TRX here, red stitching. Leather is probably one of the best in its class. I like the way it feels. It's very plush, and it feels good to the touch. Over here we have some other controls, your light controls, your fog lights, your bed lights, interior dimming switches here, pedal controls, emergency braking there, or your parking brake rather, and your telescopic steering wheel controls there. But I gotta say, again, Ram killed it with its interior. I absolutely love it, even before stepping in. Like, even the door handle, or the handle up here again, it's encased in leather with red stitching. I can't believe they did that. So now let's take a look inside. All right, so now that I'm in the cockpit of the Ram TRX, let's go over the stuff faced right in front of the driver. The steering wheel feels so nice to the touch. You have suede, Alcantara, whatever you want to call it, down below. You have the red stitching. You have it at the top here too. You have the metal back pedals. One thing I will complain about, but we'll get there in a second. Cruise control is on this side, and then your control to toggle through your screen is over there. I'm going to turn off that cargo light. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the steering wheel. It's standard steering wheel, but the quality of the materials feel really good. Now, to get to the paddle shifters. The one thing I do have to complain about is if we turn over here, you can see that it is cut to make way for the volume controls in the tuning knob, which I think is kind of dumb and smart in a way, because I get you want to still have your volume controls and whatever, but I think it just doesn't look that good from behind. But I still have to compliment them for putting metal pedals in here, which I think look good. And they're functional. You can use them down here above, but the problem is if you want to use them, you got to move your finger up. First world problems, I know, but what can you do? That's it for the steering wheel, guys. Over here are your Wiper controls, nothing too crazy on that side. Getting into the instrument cluster in here, I like you got some analog gauges in there. I like that. But in here is the digital display. You can control it using these toggles here. And it's pretty easy to use. You can kind of just go through some of your messages here, your audio, trailer control, your tripometer, your fuel economy as well, driver assistance. It does have adaptive cruise control, which is awesome. And off-road stuff, your vehicle info, and I like the speedometer. We'll leave it at that. Pretty nice. Again, I like the analog, and TRX is at the top. Even coming at the top here, you do have a heads-up display as well, which is controlled in the infotainment, but the top is so beautiful. Like, they did such a good job. You have all leather up top here, red stitching. You have the Alcantara right here, and it carries throughout the whole dash. It's just, why aren't other trucks doing this? I know this is an expensive truck, I'm not gonna lie, it's very expensive, but it just looks so good. You have some storage in here, and your 12 volt, maybe if you wanna put a GoPro when you go off-roading or whatever, you can find a way to do that. And you have the one Harman Kardon speaker up here too. TRX is on the upper glove box. You push this button here, it opens the top glove box, and then you have the bottom glove box down below. Pretty standard stuff, but over here, that beautiful leather with red stitching carries throughout, and there is the passenger side, it does the same thing. Now, getting into the screen of the Ram, but before we do that, I'm going to go over some of the controls here. You have your off-road cruise control, traction control, you have your 4 auto and your 4x4 settings here. Now, you have launch control in a pickup truck. Like, it is 2021 and you got launch control in pickups. Like, where is the pickup truck market going? Like, does someone say they want launch control? Doesn't matter, you're getting it anyways in the TRX. You push that and you can get your launch control when it's available, because it's a new vehicle. We only got 572 kilometers on it, can't use it yet. You can use the launch control when you're ready. TRX mode here, when you hit the TRX, it goes into the screen here, and you can control the different components here depending on which one you want. You can put it on performance and street and all that kind of stuff. So very configurable. This here, when you go to the arrows here, you can control the front screen here. You can go to your tow haul, your snow, your sport, your Baja mode, your rock, and I would like to go to the I like auto, because right now I'm just on tarmac, so I don't really need to go into anything too crazy, but very configurable. They let you do that all by yourself. Now we'll get into the screen. The screen, I love the 12-inch screen. It is very intuitive. At first it looks very complicated, but once you kind of get used to it, probably could take you a day if you own this vehicle to really get used to it. So simple. We'll start with the screen, then we'll go around, work our way around the buttons. Now, when you hit the home button, it gives you 2 kind of split screens. So one, you can have your audio here or your audio down here. Climate, audio, it doesn't matter. Basically what you do is when you hit the exit button, it tells you what section you want your categories in. So for example, I want my media here, and I like my nav down below. But the problem is you can't have your navigation on all the time, which I think is a dumb idea. Only in the split screen. You could have your nav on all the time if you hit the nav button, but I wish I could do it, if I hit the home button, I wish I could do it down below. But nonetheless, it's not that big a deal. I'll just put the climate control down below here. Nothing too crazy. That's how you split the screens up. But if you want the full screen to be only like one category, you just hit media down below. They're your hotkeys. So you can do controls here, which only takes up half because there's not too much. By the way, the camera system in here is incredible. So like I hit forward camera, like look how good that quality is. And then I can do my surround camera, my backup camera too. Like the quality's incredible. Ram really killed it. You can even zoom in too. So we'll get rid of that. Those are your controls there. Heated ventilated seats. Climate control is down below. Your apps, you can have apps here, your navigation, and then phone, and then your backup camera is always there. You can actually use it when you're driving too, only for a little bit, which is a nice feature. But nonetheless, I like this screen here. That's it for the screen, pretty much. Those are the main components you need to know. Over here, you can use climate too. It's dual zone climate, so you can use the buttons right on each side, and then you have your lane keeping assist if you want it off, your lane sense, and then your hazard buttons at the top. Volume and tune knob, and then down below you have your trailer brake, your trailer steering. It's basically like Ford's Trailer Pro backup, just Ram style. Auxiliary ports, you can turn off your front and rear parking sensors. You still have a slot here to put your phone and wireless charging, of course. USB, USB-C. There is no CD changer in here, unfortunately, anymore. We're in 2021, so none of that. One thing that Ram really has gotten tons of hate is because of their stupid dial. I honestly do not like it. You did something right here, Ram. You put the shifter in here, and my gosh, does it feel amazing. Please continue this in all your pickups. People don't want the dial. Maybe a little bit of people, but not the majority. People want the stick shift. Please put it in. People will sacrifice space in their center console. They will. Trust me. Down here, cup holders, and then you can close it just like that. In the center here, we have a badge here. It tells you your VIN, how much horsepower, and all that kind of fun stuff, you know, to brag about. It's all Alcantara and leather, of course. Once we lift it up, we have a spot to put your coins. We have a 110 charger here as well. It's pretty deep, I'm not gonna lie. It's tons of storage in here. But let's move over here in the front. We have some metric and imperial systems here. Like, you have tan coast and sign. Like, who the hell is ever gonna use that? But it's there anyways, because you paid for the value of it. That's only that one part. You also have more. Crazy. You have more storage in this. It's insane. Now, one thing too to note, this does have the panoramic moonroof, which I love so much. I think it just opens it up a lot. So there's the one, and then you push it again, and it opens it up all the way. Now, one thing that Ram adopted from GM, which is so sneaky, but it is a good feature to have, is this camera back here. It's awesome, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It takes some time to get used to, but now that Ram has adopted it and GM, you know, has had it for I think like 4 or 5 years, but now Ram has put it in their trucks and it turns into a camera. Basically, what it is if there's people behind you sitting and you can't really see, that's what that's for. And then you can use these buttons here. You can zoom up or down. You can move up or down. You can adjust the brightness of it, and you can move. That's it. That's pretty much it. And then we'll go back to the regular camera. So that is it for the Ram TRX, people. Compared to the Raptor, I'm gonna have to hand it to the TRX. For majority of the buyers that I know that have these types of trucks, you're gonna be driving on the road, and it's gonna be a comfort thing. Personally, my opinion, I like the Ram TRX the most. I think it looks better. I think it feels and drives better because of its coils. Obviously, the Raptor's Fox shocks are great, but I think for the daily driving of this, coils are a nice way to just kind of have more luxury and more comfort. But I like the whole look of this better, so I'm gonna give the TRX the lead from the competition here. But I will admit though, the new Raptor that came out, the 2022, looks good, and it's got the new updated interior, which I like as well. But I'm excited to see the Raptor R with the supercharged V8. Now, since this is out, you have to. Ford has no choice. They have to do it. But I'm going to be excited to see what that looks like. But let me know what you guys think in the comments of the interior, and we will get to the price of this. All right, so since I'm working at a pre-owned lot, and technically this is almost like brand new, it's pretty much brand new, we're selling it right now for $56,345, and that is pretty much the going rate here in Canada. This is Canadian dollars for what this truck is actually going for right now. Crazy money, I know. It's a lot of money, I'm not gonna lie, but it's what the market's asking for right now, and it is just an insane, crazy truck, and it's the only one pretty much out there this is the only truck out there like this. It's just crazy. It's a supercharged V8 truck that does 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, like 4.5. That is incredible. That's craziness on a pickup truck, for gosh sake. But anyways, that is it for the price. Let me give you my final thoughts. Well, I pretty much did inside. I love this truck. It is an absolute beast. Like, just staring, I can look at this all day. It is just so beefy. It's huge. even coming down to the shocks down below, or not the shocks, the control arms, like look how big that freaking control arm is. Like everything about this truck is huge, I gotta say. And I have to just give it such a good rating. I think it's definitely better. I think it's definitely better than the Raptor. It's just bigger in every way. And I love the interior. I think the interior is a lot better. But I'm curious to see what the Raptor R is going to be like. But those are my final thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Even have a side vent, which is functional, in the back of the headlight. Incredible, like just incredible. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna stop talking about it because I could talk about it all day. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and we will see you in my next video. Cheers.